הקדוש בוקר אור, מסכת בבא בתרא, מודים לשמחה, דף יומי, דף קכ"ב עמוד א', 122a1. Tashema, we're going to bring a braita. This is actually answering up that which we did, that we asked the question to do with, was Eretz Yisrael divided between the Shvatim, which means 12 chalakim, chelek echad lechol shevet, right, one portion to each shevet, or dimar maybe lekarkaf gavrei plug, or according to the Rashi Anashim, which means you have a 600,000 chalakim, right? Meaning, was it according to every tribe or according to kama meot anashim? V'po yesh לך 600,000, 600,000 chalakim. So Tashema, we're going to bring a proof. When it says, Al pi hagoral techalek nachalato ben rav lim'at. What does that mean? Mashmot of the pasuk is that whatever each shevet is going to take, whether it's going to be a chelek merubeh or chelek muat. So if that's only going to be if it was according to shvatim, not according to chalakim. מה זאת אומרת בין רב למעט? בין רב למעט עם הרבה או פחות? מה זאת אומרת? זאת אומרת, לא משנה על המספרים, משנה על החלק. אז יש לך חלק זה, חלק זה, חלק זה, בום, גורל, ראובן. חלק זה, בום, גורל, שמעון. וככה זה יצא. ועוד תניא, we also learned in a braita, this is during the time of the Mashiach, עתידה ארץ ישראל שתתחלק ל13 שבטים. In the future, it's going to divide to 13 חלקים שווים, שבתחילה לא נתחלקה, אלא ל12 שבטים. בהתחלה זה יהיה 12, עכשיו זה יהיה 13. Yeah, we're going to see. The Gemara is going to explain. Yeah, so he says, ולא נתחלקה, אלא בכסף. Right? היו משלמים. Okay? שנאמן, בן רב לימט. Okay, so he says, Amar Biuda, Se'ah Biuda, Shaveh 5 Sein Bagalil. He says, if there's going to be a Se'ah of Karka in Yehuda, it's going to be equal to 5 Sein Karka in the Galil. Ve'lo nitchalka le begoral, and it was only going to be divided begoral. Shneimar b'sefer pasuk, ach begoral, ve'lo nitchalka le berurim v'tumim. And it was also, right, going to be done through the Shneimar pi hagoral. So that is the remez to the Urim v'Tumim. HaKetzad. So one second, was it Urim v'Tumim or was it Goral? Goral is a lotto. Urim v'Tumim is that you look at the Urim v'Tumim and you see the name. What's going on? So he says, Elazar mlubash Urim v'Tumim. Elazar Kohen Gadol was wearing the Urim v'Tumim. V'Yoshua v'chol Yisrael omdim lefanav. And Yoshua v'chol Yisrael ayu lefanav. V'kalpi shel shvatim v'kalpi shel tchumin munachim lefanav. You had two lottos. One lotto of the Shevet and one lotto, you know what lotto is, it? Yeah, one lotto of the תחום. זאת אומרת, בוא נגיד, הגליל. צפון, לא יודע מה, אתה מבין, כאילו, היה להם שמות כמובן, אבל כן ככה. אז הוא אומר, והיה מכוון ברוח הקודש, הוא אומר, so he used to say, ברוח הקודש, זבולון עולה תחום עכו עולה עמו. זבולון is going to come up, and it's going to be the תחום of עכו with him. טרף בקלפי של השבטים, ועלה בידו זבולון. וטרף בקלפי של תחומין, ועלה בידו תחום עכו. ממש ככה. זאת אומרת, קודם כל היה באורים ותומים, הוא היה אומר, זבולון ככה וככה. פתאום בום, תיקח זבולון. מה השני? בום, עכו. אז שתיהם בדיוק איך שהוא אמר.
בארץ היום.
כן. וחוזר ומכוון ברוח הקודש, then the next one. ואומר נפתלי. So now Naphtali is going to come up. ותחום גינוסד עולה עמו. And the תחום of גינוסד is going to come up. בקלפי של שבטים, so טרף בקלפי של שבטים ועלה בידו נפתלי, טרף בקלפי של תחומים ועלה בידו גינוסד. וכן על כל שבט ושבט. So that's what it was both. It was also done בקלפי, and it was also done על פי האורים ותומים. איך יכול להיות? ככה. ברוח הקודש. ככה זה יצא. So he says now, ולא כחלוקה של העולם הזה, חלוקה של העולם הבא. He says the חלוקה of עולם הזה is not going to be the same one as the חלוקה of עולם הבא. העולם הזה, אדם שיש לו שדה לבן, אין לו שדה פרדס. He says if a person has a grain field, he doesn't have an orchard, he has a שדה פרדס, he doesn't have שדה לבן. Right? לעולם הבא, אין לך כל אחד ואחד שלו בהר ובשפלה ובעמק. Each person will have all three. He'll have a mountain, he'll have the שפלה, he'll have the עמק, he'll have a marsh, he'll have the mountains, the valleys, שנאמר, שער ראובן אחד, שער יהודה אחד, שער לוי אחד. Which means הכל שווה. אוקיי? הקדוש ברוך הוא מחלק להן בעצמו. And during the time of the Mashiach, HaKadosh Baruch Hu is going to do it himself. שנאמר, ואלה מחלקותם נאום, השם, meaning we don't need, not תאורים ותומים, אינו קלפי. הקדוש ברוך הוא בכבודו ובעצמו. אוקיי? קטן עם but we did learn, שבתחילה לא נתחלקה ל-12 שבטים. It was done to 12 שבטים. שמאמינה לשבטים מפלוג, שמאמינה. So at the end of the day, it was 12 שבטים. It was done to the שבטים. It wasn't done לפי head. It wasn't 600,000 חלקים. It was לשבטים. Okay? So says the Gemara, Amar Mor, this was the original question. In the future, it's going to be to 13 Shvatim. Idach Laman, who's the extra Shevet? היה להם 12, כן? אבל האמת זה לא 100% נכון, בגלל הורידו אל לוי בדיוק. יוסף יתחלק לשתיים, ולוי לא היה. אבל הוא אומר, אידך למען, אמר רב חסדא לנשיא, למלך המשיח. תכתיב והעובד, העיר יעבדו מכל שבטי ישראל. Which means they're going to give him a נחלה מכל שבטי ישראל. זאת אומרת, כל שבט מישראל ייתן לו חלק. בדיוק. So אמר לרב פאפא לאביי, אימר רונגר בעלמא. Maybe the kavanat pasuk is שעבדו בנתינת עבדים, עובדים. Maybe it's whoever told them it's נחלה. Who told you it's a piece of land? Maybe it's סתם אנשים שעובדים. So it says, לא סגדה, דגדיגדי, ונותן לנשיא מזה ומזה לתרומת הקודש ולאחוזת העיר. It's משמעות that the נשיא is going to take a חלק מזה ומזה, which means each one of the חלקים, besides the part of the מקום מבית המקדש או מקום העיר. ולא נתחלקה לכספים. Now everything was done according to the חלק, right, of the שווה, יותר, right, שילמו כסף למקבל יש חלק שווה פחות. שנאמר בין רב לימד. זאת אומרת, מי שקיבל פחות, היה צריך לקבל כסף עבור שהוא קיבל יותר. But again, there was a certain תחומים. So according to that tchum, they had to give because there was different values. So it says the Gemara, Lemai, why? Who's paying this money? If it's going to be for the erech of the karka, meaning karka tova v'karka ra'a, atu b'shufteni yaskina, he says, what, they're tipshim? They're going to come and they're going to, for some money, they're going to, karka, right, real estate, it never changes. It said, it'll always go up in value and it'll always be there. And it said, money, מה זה עוזר עכשיו? הכסף כבר הלך. הקרקע הזה זה יישאר בשביל עד until Mashiach. What's that? אלא לקרובה ורחוקה. He says, no, the tashlum is what is closer to Yerushalayim and what's further away of Yerushalayim. Each one had their own good things and bad things, pros and cons. But it was according to the closeness, proximity. Proximity is one of the most important things that a person has. Right? Here in Surfside, what's the prices? According to the closer you are, right, to the, whether it's going to be to the beach and to the center of 95th, 96, that's the price. You continue going until 88, the price is completely different there. Why? It's at the outskirts of the city. Kitnai, so says the Gemara, this is actually machloket tanaim. Rabbi Eliezer comes and he says, בכספים elu, Rabbi Yeshua אומר, בקרקע elu, which means according to שיטת Rabbi Eliezer, the kesef shulama fresh, meaning the distance between, right? Because the more that you go in, the more, meaning the further that you go in, right, the more that it is. So he says, Rabbi Yeshua Omer bekarka elu. No, it's tosefet karka, meaning they have to pay extra land. Not that they have to pay money, nothing to do with money. They have to pay karka. Fine. Then the Gemara says, ולא נתחלקה לה בגורל, שנאמר אח בגורל. תנא, אח בגורל, יצאו יהושע וכלב. This comes to exclude יהושע וכלב. למאי? What does this come to exclude exactly? If you're going to tell me now that it's not going to be shakul whatsoever, hashta delav didhu shakul. Now that it's not going to be shakul, didhu mi bae? So obviously not. Meaning, what's the pshat here that the chelek of Yoshua and Kalev, right? If you're going to tell me that they didn't get it, what are you talking about now? Yeah, for sure they got a chelek. So he says, "Ela lo natru begoral ela pi Hashem." Those were the only ones that they didn't take begoral at all. They only took al pi Hashem. יהושע דכתיב על פי השם נתנו לו את העיר אשר שאל לתמנת סרח בהר אפרים. They give him the city, an entire city, תמנת סרח בהר אפרים. Yeah, but it's written, כ"ב עמוד ב', 122b. כתיב it's written סרח, וכתיב it's written תמנת חרס. אמר רבי אלעזר, says רבי אלעזר, בתחילה פירותיה. Right, at the beginning the fruits were like dry, like חרס. ולבסוף, but after Yeshua got there, פירותיה מסריחים. There was so much שומן, right? There was mamash, they were masechim because there was so much of it. There was such an abundance that they used to just go rotten because there was so much extra. And some people say the opposite. Right? He says exactly that they were able to put in for in the beginning it was too much, and then afterwards it was exactly what they needed to. Kalev was it's written, ויתנו לחלב את חברון כאשר דיבר משה, ויורש משם את שלושה בני ענק, חברון עם מקלט. He says, one second, but I thought Hebron was in miklat. So Rabbi says parvaha. We're talking about the parvarim, which are around Hebron. That was what Kibel, that was what Kalev accepted. So he got all the surroundings areas of Hebron. Hebron was a miklat, so if it was a miklat, it couldn't have gone to anyone. Right? But the surroundings went to Kalev. Why did Kalev get the surroundings of Hebron? He went to pray on Kivrei Avot, and Kivrei Avot are in Hebron. So he received the svivot of Hebron. By Mishnah. Kuvka bet Mishnah. Echad haben ve'echad haba benachala. Whether it's a boy or a girl in the nachala, the boy will take, boy bechor will take pishnayim, but he doesn't take the girls, they will always take parnasa, meaning they're going to take mizonot, they're going to take food from the properties of the father, right, until they get married, because obviously once they get married, that's it. And then, but they're not going to take it from nichsehaim. Says the Gemara, what does it mean now? If you're going to tell me that they both inherit together, we learned in the Mishnah above, that the boy comes before the girl. But not only the boy, all his family members also come before her. So what's going on then? So says the Gemara, Siman is nafsham. So Amar of Nachman bar Yitzchak says Nachman bar Yitzchak, this is what it means to say. Echad ben ve'echad bat notlin bera'ui kivmusak. Whether it's a boy or a girl, they will always take in the ra'ui, just like in the muhzak. Okay? That means that even if it's going to be something which is fitting to come later on, they also take a portion in it. Hanan Tanina, we also learned this. It says, "Benot sulchan adu shosha chelek b'nachala, chelek avien shayod yitzom nisayim, chelko shela right imecha v'nikseh chefet, right? And then so they had three chalakim. Chelek avihen, right? Chelko imecha v'nikseh chefet. So it's mashma, right? That he says over here that even if it's Tzlofchad already died before chefet, it's still ra'ui, so they already get it. So he says ve'od, and furthermore, my ella. What does it mean ella? So ella marav papa hachi kamaduz mean say haben echad ben ve'echad haba. Whether it's a boy or the girl, notri chelek b'bechora. They're going to take a chelek of bechora in the nichsei avia av. Meaning that means even a girl could get a bechora if there's no boy. So says the Gemara, Hanami, we also learned this. Shaya bocher, it says right v'nosaf v'shaya bechor notel shnei chalakim ve'od my ella. What does it mean ella? Ella marav ashi hachi kamaduz mean say. Echad ben abanim, ve'echad bat ben abanot. Im amar yirash kol nechasai, devarav kayamin. Imagine right now you have a case where you have one boy amongst all the other boys, or a girl amongst other girls, because there's no boys. And the father comes and he says, you know what? This child is going to get everything. So he says, Keman, what is it? It's good. He's going to get everything. So he says, Keman, who does this collect? Like Rabbi Yochanan Memroka. So he says, Haktanila, we already learned it. Right, like Kaman later on. Kuflam Amud Aleph. Rabbi Yochanan Memroka Omer, Im Amar Anish Yaroil Yoshod Varav Kaimim. Which means like this. If he said it on somebody that's fitting to inherit him, so then it's going to be okay. But if he said it on somebody that's not fitting to inherit him, so then it's not okay. It doesn't work. If you're going to tell me that we have a Stam Mishnah now like Rabbi Yochanan Memroka, Stam V'chag Machloketi, and Stam V'chag Machloketi, the halacha is not like him. Why did he say Ella then? So again, the Gemara has to change the explanation again. Ve'Ella, Amar Bavashi Achim, this is what it means to say. Echad ben ve'echad bat shavin, right? Whether it's a boy or a girl, they're always going to be equal in the father's properties and the girl's and the mother's properties. But the boy will take double portion only in his father's properties. He will not take double portion in the mother's properties. The Tanu Rabbanan, right, and another right had to do with bechora, right? Remember that he has to give the bechor. Yeah, so he says as follows. He says, Ata omer pishnaim shel echad o eno ela pishnaim bechol nechasim. Do you say it's pishnaim, meaning one of the, like a chelek pashut, or you're going to say pishnaim of all the property? כן? זה היה ספק שלך פעם שעברה, אתה זוכר? פי שניים הכוונה שאתה מחלק את זה לעוד אח, ואז הוא לוקח שתי חלקים, או פי שתיים, זה פי שתיים ממה שאתה מקבל. אז אם אתה אח פשוט ואתה מקבל 30%, אז... Right. So he says, we say the din hu, it's a din, right? He says here, חלקו עם אחד וחלקו עם חמישה. He says, מה חלקו עם אחד? פי שניים כאחד, אבל חלקו עם חמישה, פי שניים כאחד. You're always going today, right? One way, even though now we're going to bring down, right? Another way of doing it as well.